Yeah, I'm not giving signals to anyone. It's myself, actually. That's how I know my hand is on the bat, particularly when I play a straight drive or an on drive. It's how I want my hand to be on the bat with my right hand and how I use it. So, yeah, I do it a bit. It's just a thing that I do, like all the other random things. So, yeah, it's just another one of those. You just seem to pick up on it a bit more, maybe.
After all the lead-up, Steve, all the talk, all the debate around how big this series would be, what's the most satisfying thing about a 4-1 result to you now today?
I think just the way we've played. I think we've played so well as a team. We've obviously had some incredible individual performances. This guy next to me in particular, man of the series, has been incredible. He's led the attack in all 5 games, and him and Scotty playing all 5 games was a huge effort. We look at our attack and their attack. They only had Bryden, Cass playing every game. Everyone else went down. It's a tricky place to bowl fast. The amount of force these guys put through their bodies on these wickets is outrageous. And to be able to come out and play 5 tests the way he did, and Scotty, and keep backing up day in, day out and do the job was incredible. But, everyone else throughout, Trav and Alex were obviously other guys that had incredible performances throughout the series. But, yeah, outside of that, everyone else that just stood up at different moments. I think that's what makes a really good team. We won those big moments throughout the series, and that's what makes a series.
Steve, it's a pretty spectacular sight seeing the team lift the urn in front of thousands and thousands of fans on the field. Can you just talk us through what you feel as captain in that moment and what it was like to be part of something like that?
Yeah, it was an awesome week. I mean, it's to have the biggest attendance at an SCG test was incredible. The fans were amazing. Not just this test, all summer. It's been amazing, the atmospheres that have been created out in the middle. Both Australian and English fans, obviously, with the Barmy Army as well. So it's just been a wonderful series to be a part of. The hype before it was as big as I've ever seen, and yeah, hopefully we've been able to entertain and live up to that hype.
Yeah. So there was a lot of focus on the pitch coming into the test, and also on your team going in without a specialist spinner. How did you feel that the pitch played, and did you feel that the call to leave out a spinner was justified?
It is now. We're standing here winning, right? Have we not? There's obviously maybe a bit to answer for there potentially, but you've got to weigh up how you think the game's going to pan out. We thought the cracks were going to open up quicker than they did, and the rough wasn't going to be as prevalent as it was. And our batting was obviously really deep, with this guy coming in at number 10, scoring 2 crucial 50s throughout the series as well. And, I think that in this game, that lengthened batting order with Bo ending up coming in at 9 after a night watchman getting 70, getting us to that total in the first innings was crucial. So there's different points in the game you can look at, but in terms of the wicket, I think it's one of the, if not the best I've seen in my 15 years playing here. I think it offered a bit for everyone. The new ball worked a bit. If you batted well and applied yourself, you could score runs, and then the rough came into play at the back end, and there were some cracks there as well. So I think it was went to day 5 almost to the last session. I think it was a really good wicket.
Steve, can you cast
Do you want to ask him one for a second? I've been talking a lot. Anyone got one for him?
Well, I'll ask you both. Can you cast your minds, plural, back to lunch day 2 in Perth, and England sort of had the game in their keeping almost at that stage. How important was that day and the way it panned out to the rest of the series, and I guess how I suppose important was it that you guys kept your composure as a team in that moment to take that game
out? That may have seemed the way to you guys, but certainly didn't to us in the change room. It's obviously helter-skelter first day, but I think that's been a feature of our group for a long time, not just this series, is even when things aren't going the way we'd plan them, or perhaps not in our favour all the time, we're very quick to move on from that, be very calm and problem solve or adjust on the go. So, yeah, you guys may have felt that England had the upper hand, or whatever you may have written, but as a change room, the game was still very much, not in control, but in the balance. If we had a good second innings with ball and bat, it went the way not the way we drew it up, but the fact that we were able to keep calm and as a group just go about our business as we have done for a number of years now, put us in that position to end up being on the right side of it.
Well, yeah, we had that belief that, guys would show up and get us out of the situation that we were in at that stage. And, his bowling performance in that game was incredible. Scotty Boland came in that second innings and broke the game open as well. And then obviously Trav did what he did. But even had we lost that game, we'd take confidence out of, what we did last year against India. We lost that first test, which I guess we're not accustomed to so much in Australia. And we came back from that. So, that was always in the back of our mind. If things didn't go to plan, we just continued playing our way, trusting it, and, things would turn around for us if we didn't get the result we were after.
A joint question again. Just generally when Australia dominates at home in the Ashes, it's more like a settled team, but just the fact that there's so many moving parts, like Travis said, suddenly became opener. You didn't have Pat or Josh for most of it. Pat played one test, and the man got injured. How did you, now when you look back, deal with all those changes and the fact that you still got over the line 4-1?
I'll go again. I think it just shows our depth. Everyone that came in did a tremendous job. As I said before, the guys that really stood out for the series, but around that, everyone did their job at some point throughout the series. Bo coming in this game, getting 70 not out, I think he was, and then took 3 crucial wickets, bowling off spin into the rough. Guys just did their jobs when we needed them to, and I think our fielding was incredible as well. I think as an Australian team, you pride yourself on your fielding, and it's a huge attitude thing, and I thought the way we caught throughout the summer was better than England, and that was a huge difference in the end result as well.
I think on top of that, there's probably a lot made of our group, outside of our group, if that makes sense. Okay, Pat wasn't there, but we have someone who's captained the team so much in the past, has a great cricket brain. It was business as usual. I think Steve captained phenomenally well through the series, was ahead of the game, was ahead of England for a lot of it. And then in terms of whether it be the different batters, different Trav opening, different bowling setups, we knew as a group that we had the guys that could fill different roles if need be adaptable in different situations. And I think it's been a feature as well over the years. It's not just about having a settled 11. It's very much a squad mentality, whether it be, I don't know, it's a lot made about Nathan, but, if it's conditions-based selection at some stages throughout this series or previous series, whether it's, Scotty playing 5 and doing his role so well, Nisa coming in and having his first crack at red ball cricket and probably having his best series for Australia of his career as well, Trav going to the top, a partnership between Trav and Jake in that second innings in Perth. So there's, as Steve said before, there's those little moments as a squad that I think have got us across the line to 4 wins this series.
Ted, Dan over here.
I suppose again, question for both of you to a degree. Invariably, there's a lot made of selection. There's been a lot of commentary around some of George Bailey's decisions. Stuart Clark's comment to the last gravitas, what did you make of that? And was there any responsibility from the dressing room about the ban to the ABC the other day?
What was the last bit of that,
the ABC
sorry?
being banned, was speaking to a player, post-play day, screw through it, forgot which one it was, but was there any responsibility there from the dressing room?
This one's yours.
I'm not even aware of that, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But in terms of George, he's done a wonderful job for a long time. We've had, since he's been in charge, we've made a couple of Test Championship finals. We've played really good cricket. We've won this series 4-1. So what more is there to say?
Mitch, I'm just leaving the ABC thing to one side, but just George, and obviously you've had some tough discussions with him at times, T20 and the like, but what's it been like?
I think you mentioned there the T20 stuff. I think the greatest thing with George is it's never a sugarcoating conversation. He'll tell you straight up, whether it's conditions-based, role-based, or the like. That's how I can speak on that relationship with George as a selector. As Steve said, I think every move that George and the selection panel have made this series, it's a 4-1 result. And they have made some tough decisions, not just this series, but even going back series before. So City of 4-1, I think they've done a fantastic job.
Okay, over to the left, right. Yep.
Mitch, 20 years ago you just ditched the gloves, I think, and you were taking it for fun at Hudson Park and Strathfield Park. What does it mean to be player of the series, take 31 wickets at your home deck? Like, did 15-year-old Mitch ever envisage that 2 decades down the track he'd be doing something like that?
I think you might have taken more wickets than I did one of those years too. You're welcome. I mean, we'll probably get the chance to reflect as a group of what this series is, and obviously it was his last week with the group. For me, I haven't really changed anything, I don't feel. There's been probably a lot more made outside the group than inside, whether it be Pat and Josh or what we have and haven't got. For me, I felt like if I could just do my role like I've tried to anyway, throughout however many years, that's the best thing I could do for the team. So as a group, we knew how good Scotty is and has been, likewise with Ness, Doggy, Jai and the test he played. So it wasn't about doing more. It was probably more about doing the good stuff for longer, and whether things are going well or not get too high, too low. So yeah, I'm very pleased to have played that role as best as I could through the series.
You spoke about Travis's impact a little bit, but just the way it happened, no doubt you thought he was capable of performing, getting hundreds, but did you think it would go quite as well as it did? And did it give the batting order a different feel? Did it go back to the time of when Davey was at his best and you had that really punchy opening batsman that could take a game away in a session?
A little bit, yeah. I think going back to Perth, Trav put his hand up. I think I said it after that. We were tossing and turning between Nathan Lyon going out to bat and Travis Head, and thankfully we went the right way. Gaz might have got 200.
Imagine that. He wouldn't have slept.
Never hear the end of that. But no, I think the way he's just come out and just put the pressure on the opposition from ball one has been incredible, and similar to what Davey used to do. He just puts you right under the pump. If you miss, it's going to the fence, and with the new ball as well, it helps guys batting behind him. It softens that ball up definitely when he's hitting it as hard as he is. And I thought Jake had a few really good contributions with him up top as well. He probably didn't quite get the runs that he would have wanted, but he got us off to a couple of really good starts in pressure situations like today, and in Perth as well in that second innings. So Trav's just been phenomenal, and I'd say he's pretty much locked away at the top now, I would imagine.
I've got one for each of you, maybe starting with you, Steve. Just the having Carey up to the stumps this year, it's like can you tell us how the plan's going to evolve? How the plan's evolved with that, and as an extension, would you be more considerate of bowlers who aren't necessarily Starkey's pace to play in this team? Have you kind of shown that it's a different tactic that can work?
Firstly, Alex was incredible, both with gloves and bat as well. I think the pressure he applied with the bat and the way he went about his business was exceptional, and has been for a little while now. The keeping up to the stumps was an absolute masterclass throughout the series. It doesn't surprise me. He works so hard. I thought the way he kept over in the subcontinent in India and Sri Lanka was as clean as I've seen anyone keep in those conditions. And then to be able to go up to the stumps to guys bowling late 130s and barely drop a ball, both offside, leg side, it was incredible. And against this opposition, it was more about just keeping the pressure on them. They like to get out at those guys and try and take LBW out of play, and for him to be able to get up to the stumps as much as he did and keep them back in their crease, it created a load of chances for us. And yeah, I haven't seen a keeping performance like that. It was honestly incredible.
And for Mitch, just your plans over the next, you're obviously retired from international T20 cricket, but also, like Ronnie said the other day, like he wants you to play in the 2027 Ashes, which would be, virtually unprecedented for a fast bowler that old.
Scott is older than me.
Your thoughts on those two things?
I certainly not looking 2 years down the road just yet. Pull on the magenta with the man next to me, see if we can help get to another final or something like that.
Feels right.
Other than the BBL, I haven't got too many plans other than a bit of golf. But get the chance now to watch Elisa play a bit of cricket against India as well, which is nice to have the chance to do that. Be following the boys in India, but I won't miss getting on that plane over. I mean that's part of the reason I gave away the T20 stuff, was trying to prolong my Test career, and feel like I can get some opportunities to put some time back in my body, and that's obviously paid off this series. It's not always the case, but I feel like on the last day of a 5-test series, I've felt in worse condition than I have this series. So that sort of means that the stuff I've been doing at home or off the field's paying it, or being a good thing. Let's not look too far ahead. I'm not a great reflector, but I'd love to, just as a group, reflect on such a good series. Obviously a great week for Uzi. But for our group of players and staff, it's been a very busy summer, but a very successful one. So a chance to reflect together is I think what we all need right now.
Steve, you mentioned Jake Weatherall before. Do you think he's done enough to keep getting chances at Test level when you guys next play? And I guess further that you mentioned his contributions as someone who's open the batting yourself. When we assess openers' performances, do you have to sort of look a little beyond the numbers, given the tough sort of facing newborns and things like that, and the other stuff they have to deal with that other batters don't?
Yeah, I mean, I think the new ball is definitely the trickiest time to bat in Australia at the moment, for sure. He got some really good starts, and as I said, he would have loved to have gone on with those, but he got us off to some flyers with Trav, and you can kind of build momentum off that, softens the ball up and helps us all out. I think he did a good job, and it's obviously down to the selectors whether they how they see fit for our next couple of games in when are they? August. We'll see what happens then.
One for both of you on the 2027 Ashes team. Steve, I know you said I'm asking it when you're going to play in it, but just generally across the board.
I'll play if you play, mate.
It's about the hype that there was going into this series and whatnot. Do you feel like that's going to be the case again next year? Do you feel like that will become a motivating factor for a lot of guys to want to play on into that series and win a series over there, because it's something that hasn't been done by this group yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that was always on my bucket list. Would love to have won in India and England. That's the two big away tours, I suppose, for us as Australians. Whether I'll be there or not, as I've said numerous times, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll take it day by day, game by game. One day I might wake up and say I've had enough, but we'll see.
And Mitch, so just on that note, Mitch, I know you're saying it's too far away for you, but given, I remember at the end of 23 we were talking about it was probably unlikely that all four or five of the regular bowlers would be there. We're now 18 months out. Does it feel to you like it is potentially more likely now that at least the vast majority of you will go to England in 27?
It's too hard to look that far ahead. I think what I will say is that I think this group has shown that whilst there was so much made about our age profile, I think at times through this series that experience has been a really good thing in some moments of this series. And I think we've seen guys prove that if you're still playing your role or if you're still good enough, it shouldn't matter how old you are. So I think our group do that really well. And tailor programs or preparation for that. And we've seen the results this series. So, I mean, same as Steve, I'd love to. We've had two really good chances in England to win. We've retained. I've been on plenty of England and India tours with Steve. So, if we both get to go on those tours in 27, it'd be lovely to tick them off. But we've got plenty of cricket before then.
Andrew.
Steve, Ben Stokes said before that he feels like opposition teams have come up with answers to their style of play. How satisfying is it to have not only outplayed them but outthought them? You mentioned Carey coming up, field placings. I mean, it's been a tactical win.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan kind of going in. Yeah, we just try and play what's in front of us and do what we need to do at that time. And I think that's been a real strength of this group is we do things in real time. We don't wait until afterwards and say, you know, we should have done this, we should have done that, we could have done this. We try and do it right there. We don't get it right every time, but I think we're getting it right more often than not. And when you get those moments, those key moments in the game and you get it right, you go a long way to winning games. And yeah, fortunately we've been able to do that.
Ben, do you want to do that thing? Or
Yeah, I just had a question first.
Yeah, okay, last one.
Last one, yeah. Steve, just were the big celebrations in Adelaide or is tonight the big celebration and, you know...
What's Eddie doing?
What are the plans and I guess what are your... is there, you know, I know you're both saying you don't know what will happen down the track. You know, given there are so many experienced players here, is it one that you do savour, just not knowing what is around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the plan is tonight, to be honest. We'll go back in the sheds. I think the English will come in for a drink. We've invited them in, so no laughs, no laughs. Hopefully they come in for a drink, and then, yeah, we'll see where the night takes us.
Bed.
Thanks, right.
Right,
Just wait for a second, Starc.